Hey. Hey, y'all. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, whatever time it may be where you are, if you're catching a replay, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night. How are y'all? Hey. What up, what up, what up? All of that good stuff. We are here. We're here. If you go back to my old channel, you know that's old school. That's old channel. this That's for my old timers who might be in the bushes somewhere. Hey, Nicole Stevens. Hey, Carolyn Alexander. Hey, everyone. How are y'all? So I came on here real brief. We ain't gonna be on here too long because I gotta lie. We gotta do a teacher project 2.0. So look look forward to a teacher project 2.0 from me and really be at 5:30. So as you can see, I can't be on here more than an hour and 11 minutes. So at 5:30, we all gonna leave here. We're gonna go over to Teacher Project 2.0, and really B and I are going to talk all things, as every reviews would say, teachery. But we're gonna talk some politics today. We got some things to discuss and some things that we need to, you know, um, talk about, and we're gonna do that in only the way that we can. So we had Martin Luther King Day, which was 2 days ago. Um, and we had, and on Silly Saturday, if you recall, I made a point of personal privilege, and I asked all of those politicians out there. I said, if you would please do not invoke quotes from the Reverend Doctor Martin Luther King Jr. if you're not going to invoke them and use them correctly. Of course, they did not heed my warning and they did it anyway. Wait, you got the Rona, Nicole? Hey, Nicole Stevens. Hey, Carolyn. You got the Rona, Nicole? Nicole. We're going to send up a word of prayer for Nicole because we can't have you, we can't have Miss Coco taking you down. Hey, Mitch, I gotta let my facial hair grow a little bit only because my face is breaking out. I'm allergic to actual tea leaves. I'm allergic to tea leaves, so I can't even drink tea. So what happens is sometimes I'll go out of town for trips or whatnot, and we'll have little banquets. We have banquets. The ladies that are there, when they hug you, the old ladies, they kind of kiss you on the cheek, and sometimes they'll have little remnants of the tea on their the lips or whatever, and so they give you whatever that happened. And so it's just, and when tea, like if you pour tea on my arm, it will break out my arm. On my, like if you pour some tea on my hand and I don't like get hand sanitizer or something to clean it up or wipe it off real bad, in about an hour or so, my whole arm will break out. So it's going on with my face. It has a lot going on. So I usually have very nice skin, but every now and again I have these breakouts. And then what happens is I have to just let all of the hair grow out because otherwise, if I try to cut it, it'll irritate my face and it will just be bad and it will just tear up my face. So that's what I got going on. Anyway, um, I don't even know why I went through that whole explanation, but we here. Anyway, so let's start with we talked about Martin Luther King Day that happened on Monday, and we had all of these, nefarious politicians that saw fit to um invoke the quotes by Dr. King, but then do everything in their power to stop voting rights bills from hitting the Senate floor. And I know that they were debating yesterday, and I think they're still debating today um on the Senate floor. It's okay, Mitch. I'm used to it by now. Don't tempt me with a good time, Mitch. Don't you tempt me with a good time. You were supposed to hit me up in my DMs. You did. So I'm gonna hit you up and I'm gonna cuss you out in the DMs. I'll see you there. Anyway, but so so I don't want to talk about these weary ass politicians that don't mean us no good and ain't shit and ain't never been shit and ain't trying to be shit. Who I really want to talk about is people who claim to be shit but really ain't shit, and we see them for their ain't shitness. Urgh, the Biden administration. I have a question, Biden administration, dear God above, Lord on high. Wait, do I have some more? Oh, I almost fell, y'all. Don't tell nobody. Oh, oh, I was seeing if I had some more crystal light in here, and I do. And I do. Hey, Diamond Pearl Jim. Hey, boo. I think I'm gonna pour some crystal light, um, some orange strawberry banana crystal light inside of my lemonade that I got from Publix and see what that does. Oh, that might be a nice little combination, y'all. Anyway, so I have a question for the current administration, the administration of our 46th president of these yet to be United States of America. Here's my question. Here's my question. Oh dear God. Oh well, hey Belize, where you been hiding, boo? Belize, Belize, you gonna think I'm making this up? I literally was on the phone with Really B yesterday. Me and Really B was on the phone literally yesterday, and we was asking, "Where is Belize?" We literally because we were talking about, or was it today? It was either today or yesterday. I was talking about my passport. I was talking about how the last place that I went to use my passport was Belize, and that was in 2019. And so I was like, oh, well, where's Belize been? Really be said, I ain't seen Belize either. We talk about how we need to find you. And now you look at God. Look at God. So glad to see you, my love. So glad you're here. I think that was you. That was you that followed me, right? On Instagram, and I followed you back. Hey, hey, we're so glad to see you. Glad corner culture, hashtag corner culture. Like I'm literally not making that up, Belize. You can confirm with Really be. We would literally, it was either yesterday or today. We were talking and we brought you up. We were like, we got to go find Belize. We literally, I'm not making this up. So she's gonna be so glad that you popped up in here. Anyway, get back to my hey Amber topic at hand. So, um, my question to you, Mr. Joseph R. Biden and Kamala Harris, is hey Tracy, why is it that we are an entire year into your administration and now you just are now thinking that it's a good idea to pass legislation or to try to act like you're serious about legislation on voters' rights, on voting rights? Hey, Spicy Original. Like, make it make sense. Like, see, we knew the enemy that we had in the last administration. We knew they wasn't shit. They weren't trying to be shit. They fake like they were shit. They lived and dwelled in their ain't shitness. But y'all came, you know, the devil in the blue dress, angel in disguise. Or I should say demon in disguise. Because y'all ain't really tried to do shit for voting rights because we're a whole fucking year in and you just decided, oh, now it's time. And I told y'all this was going to happen. We spelled this out. We said for months and months and months, wait until the calendar rolls out and it's 2022. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have them so concerned about voting rights. Hey, Volvo. Hey, Tracy. We've been beating the, we've been beating the drum on this. We've been beating the drum on this for so long. I mean, a mess, a mess. So when Biden called himself going to Georgia last week, or was that this weekend, whenever the hell it was, and he was doing this whole, press conference and speech about voters' rights. And I saw some of the pundits on television and on news broadcasts talking about, oh, this is one of the most monumental and consequential speeches that he's made in his entire presidency. Really, really, really. That's what we doing. Girl, apparently I ain't the only one who feels that way. My girl and yours, a member of the House, Congresswoman Terry Sewell, a great member of Delta Sigma Theta, by the way. But Congresswoman Terry Sewell out of Selma, Alabama, she had some words to say about it. And I just wanted to bring y'all what she had to say. Let me read this article for y'all real fast, okay? It says Congresswoman Sewell assured CBS News that having grown up in one of the most significant locations of Black history, she knows very well how much voting rights needs to be adjusted. Sewell said she wished President Biden's speech came sooner in his presidency, given legislators are actively placing new restrictions on voters and their access to the ballot. Sewell told CBS News she believes it is critical to pass the Freedom to Vote Act, which would expand the ways people can register to vote, allow incarcerated individuals to vote, and keep already registered voters from being removed, among many more progressive actions. She went on to say, we have an ongoing concerted effort by state legislators across this country to impose greater restrictions on voting and to actually stop certain segments of the population from voting. Frankly, what these two bills will do will provide federal oversight for those most egregious state actors, and also provide the mechanism by which we promote voting and allow people the opportunities to be able to access the ballot box. Sewell noted that though Democratic Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema won't support changing filibuster rules, they support voting rights. And further, Manchin helped write the Freedom to Vote Act. I ain't here for no parts of Joe Manchin. I don't care. Mm-mm. I see. I was with you. I was with you. I was with you. I'm Representative Sewell till you tried to infuse them. I keep telling y'all, then don't listen. Let me say this to y'all, okay? Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are not the only two round here that is acting like they are real Republicans in a bad Democratic wig. Okay, now, oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I just got a mess. I'm sorry. Um, I just got a message on my phone. That's why I stopped. Excuse me. Anyway, we have other Democratic senators that are on the same plane and the same agenda as Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, but they just use them for cover. You want to know one of the people who I'm talking about? Senator Coons, right out of the great state of Delaware, where freaking Joe Manchin comes from. Let's be clear. Listen, Democratic Senator Coons is not here for none of the progressive stuff. He is just like his predecessor, um, Joe Biden. Let's be very clear. He's not here for none of the progressivism that's going on. He's another one of the ones, hey, quintessential, that wants to come out over here and say, nope, I don't want this. Nope, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. But what he does is he tries to throw the rock and hides his hand. So he leaves it to Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin to get all of the flack and all of the news about it. Hey Tabitha, and that way he can just say he can go, because I'm telling you, it's the worst kept secret in Congress or in Washington. What Senator Coons will do is he'll see if Manchin and Sinema are gonna vote no on it, and if he knows they're gonna vote no on it, you won't hear a peep out of him. Or he'll send some of his staffers over there to the Manchin and Cinema staffers. How y'all voting over there? Yeah, tell them that we're not here for it. Tell them that, hold it down, stand their ground on this, because it ain't gonna pass anyway. I see you, Senator Coons. I see you. I've seen you for a while. I've tried to spare you. I tried to save you, Senator Coons, but now you're getting a little too, open with your, you know, um, moderate stance. I guess that's what we'll call it. He's another one of those, a part of the establishment of Dems. We see you, Senator Combs. But I'm telling y'all, it's not just him. And please believe that when I tell you that Senator Combs is a carbon copy of what Joe Biden was, he is. And what I mean by that is, as much as Joe Biden may bloviate and blather about all over your television screens, he wants no parts of this progressivism. He wants no parts of a lot of stuff that he said. But he knows that as the head of the Democratic Party, there are certain things that he has to say and certain things that he cannot say. And so what he does is he'll toe the line. Joe Biden will say what he needs to say, or feels like he said what he needs to say, but there'll be no real teeth behind it. There'll be no real weight behind it. And he'll stay and bloviate and just blather about saying all of these things. And when the rubber hits the pavement, you ain't doing nothing. You behind the scenes, you ain't working no real politics. You ain't doing no real moves. Because please be clear, on the other side, when they want something to get done, the shit gets done. Even from the people who they say, oh, those are more centrist Republicans. They're not way out there, and they always fall in line. Look at the Mitt Romneys of the world. Look at the Lisa Murkowski's of the world. Look at the what's the chick up there? Collins. I can't think of her first name right there. Now who I think she has Parkinson's and stuff like that. But Susan Collins, that's who I'm thinking about. Look at all of them. Sass, Senator Sass. All of these people who claim to be moderates and they don't mind going against the grain or whatever of the Republican way far right wingers, they always fall the fucking line. They always fall the fucking line. Because on the Republican side, the people in positions of power, when they want to get shit done, they make moves. They put pressure on motherfuckers and they say, hey, bitch, you gonna vote this way. No questions asked. Don't. I don't give a shit what you said over there to that on that microphone. I don't give a shit what you said on this interview. When we get ready to vote, you voting with us. Don't ask no questions. That's the end of the story. That is it. And what do? Every time we come to a vote, we're at this juncture. Hey, Jay Parrish. And so that's how you know they're not serious about this. They're not serious about this. They don't care about. Listen, all of the people who the pundits and people have faith in, that whole center part of the Congress, meaning you're a centrist Democrat or you're a centrist Republican, those people who are supposed to be the voice of the population or the populace, they're not here for it. They're not. They are just as conservative and just as here for all of the white supremacy and just as here for, white privilege as the rest of the far right wingers. Let's be very clear. They're going to say what they have to say and they're going to do all kinds of talking. But when the rubber hits the pavement, ain't shit happening. Ain't nothing happening. But they quick to put money in the hands of their rich white friends, meaning They're quick to put money in military contracts, which is why the defense bill is engorged every year, and the defense bill is ballooning as we speak. They ain't never voted no for that. The infrastructure bill. You had people from the Republican side come over and vote on the infrastructure bill. Why? Because they know those contracts are going to their rich white friends. Child. So let's be clear. Voting rights is not something that Joe Biden gives a shit about. Because if he did, that would have been front of mind when he first got in office. We wouldn't have been waiting this long. We wouldn't be waiting this long. But I bet you it'll be front of mind come 2024. Listen, let me be clear. The Biden administration have already succumbed to the fact that they're going to lose the Senate and will probably lose the House this election cycle. They're already okay with it, which is why you don't see them flexing. You don't see them moving. You don't see them doing a whole lot of nothing right now in terms of voting rights. I mean, here's the part that baffles the mind to me for some of these Democratic politicians. How in the world do you sit there and you let the other side? It's like you're playing a game of Monopoly, and you let the other side, your opponent, take the rule book, rip the rule book apart, write a new rule book, and say, "Oh, this the rules we playing with now." In the middle of the game, not from the beginning. We're talking about being in the middle of playing. You done already went around the board once. You buying up properties. You getting a monopoly. You done got one monopoly, not even on the good side. You got a monopoly on the side of St. Charles Place, on that side, okay? On the $100 side, where the houses cost $100. You over there on that side. You got the pink, the pink with St. Charles Place and stuff over there. You got the pink monopoly right there as you go past jail around that corner. That's all you got. Just a little bit of something. Or maybe you got the light blue one right before you get to the jail, to go to jail, go directly to jail corner. No, not that corner. I'm the jail corner, the actual jail corner. Excuse me. The light blue ones. So you got one of those two. That's all the Dems got. And in the middle of the game, mind you, the Republicans already got the $200 side as monopoly. They got the $200, they got the green side, the greens up there. They got the blues over there with Boardwalk and Park Place. They got that. And so in the middle of the game, because you got you a monopoly and they mad that you don't got a monopoly, you got to pay, and they got to pay you. Now they rip up the rule book and say, "Oh, nah, we ain't playing by them rules no more." Matter of fact, we writing a new rule book, and it's the rules that we're gonna have now. That's what's going on in Washington, metaphorically. Because all over the country, we got state after state after state after state that is passing voting rights, voting bills, and things that make it harder to vote, things that remove people from the voting rolls, things that tell you you can no longer vote by mail-in ballot, things that suppress the amount or shorten the length of days you can vote early voting, things that say you can't even give people a glass of water if they're waiting in freaking lines, and all kinds of heinous and horrible things that are going on. Just awful things that are going on. They don't care. They don't care. They're over there with their finger in their booty holes and just dilly-dallying around like, "Oh, nothing to see here. We're okay. We're going to let a couple people hold us hostage like terrorists and get nothing done in Congress, except for the infrastructure bill and the military spending bill." That's all Congress has done. A military spending bill and the infrastructure bill. And Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are doing victory laps like they've just, done something revolutionary, as if they've rewritten the Constitution. Let me tell y'all, see, y'all think it didn't stop there. I told y'all these people are strategic, these people have a plan, and they are executing their plan masterfully. Let me tell you how. In my great state of Florida, governor death sentence, DeSantis. We're going to talk more about parts of the Stop Woke Act in Teacher Project 2.0 that'll be coming up in another 45 minutes on Teacher Project 2.0 channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Can I get one of my moderators to put the link to Teacher Project 2.0 in the chat? We'll be over there at 5:30. But so he unsheathed his Stop Woke Act. And in this, I should probably tell you what that stands for. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me see. I can't get that acronym for you. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I wrote it down somewhere. This is why I can't find nothing, because my stuff be all over the place. All over the place. All right. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Here it is right here. So it's called the Stop Woke Act. That's WOKE, which is an acronym. It stands for Stop Wrongs Against Our Kids and Employees Act. Protect white people and their white privilege, their white fragility, and their white supremacy at all costs. That's basically what it is. That's what it really means. So, governor death sentence, never to be undone by Governor Hot Wheels. You know, Governor Hot Wheels laid the blueprint out over the. Actually, it was that South Carolina that did it some years back, and it went to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court shut that down because that was during the Obama administration, because they said they had with diamond-like precision going through and did all of that redistricting and gerrymandering and all of that stuff. So Governor Hot Wheels said, "I'm gonna do a new blueprint," and he went over there and had the blueprint for the rest of the Republican states. So Governor Hot Wheels over there in Texas said, "Oh, we redistricting, we eliminating all of these Democratic and blue candidates that come up out of our state. We're going to make it where we can't make it where y'all don't have none, but y'all gonna go from having this many to this many, and that's it. That's all you getting, no more." And so that's in their state legislation, and as well as going to Congress in the United States House of Representatives to represent you. Okay. So Governor death sentence said, "Oh, I will not be outdone. I got to have the same thing going on in my great state." But let me just spell out all of this stuff that we got going on here. Okay. Now, Ron death sentence has proposed $6 million, that's taxpayer dollars, okay, to create a 52. This is the start of it, okay. They're going to create a 52-person um, special police force department to patrol voting, okay. So this is our second. We're going from voting rights into this gerrymandering and redistricting that's going on, okay. So Governor death sentence has said that there's such a major problem with voting in the great state of Florida hey, Danny, that I am going to spend taxpayer dollars and create this special police force specifically for voting, to patrol voting, because there's that much of a problem in my great state of Florida with voting. Mind you, there were no problems with voting last election in the state of Florida, but you're policing a problem that's not there. The new force will be the first of its kind in the nation, and and I mean it reeks of fascism. It just reeks of fascism. This is what y'all got going on. Its primary purpose would be to, quote, investigate, detect, and apprehend. I'm sorry, investigate, detect, apprehend, and arrest anyone for an alleged violation of voting rules, including Florida's restrictive new election law, which was written and passed based largely on the lies that, Cheeto Man put up from the 2020 elections. Hey, Geechee girl, what's going on, boo? That's what we got going on. That's what we got going on. So it starts there. So now he's creating a police task force whose job is to make sure that these egregious voting rights, voting laws that they just enacted in the state of Florida are carried out. And if they're not carried out to the letter, they're ready to apprehend you and arrest you. Please be clear. Mind you, these are the same, they are reenacting laws that take us back to Jim Crow eras when there were poll taxes and stuff like that. And I'm not being hyperbolic here. Anyway, according to the Washington Post, and this is coming from the Washington Post, Ron DeSantis goes on to say, the way Florida did it, I think inspired confidence, Ron DeSantis said on November 4th, 2020, hours after the results showed that President Trump had won the state of Florida, right? And he goes on to say, I think that's how elections should be run. So he comes out and says, Florida did it right because Florida, Donald Trump won Florida. But magically, you now need a police force to help you, let me get your words correctly, investigate, detect, apprehend, and arrest anyone who allegedly violates these new voting laws that you put in after the election that you said went right. Remember the election went right. So this election that went right and Florida did it right. You then enact laws that change voting eligibility, that change purging of voter rolls, that change the ability, that changes the ability of the populace to be able to vote. You change all of that, and then double down on it by saying I'm going to create this new police force whose only job it is to make sure that you stick by these laws that keep you from voting. But you got it right. Oh, we're not done. Woo! We are not done. Anyway, but in the wake of Trump's ultimate defeat, as he and his supporters spread falsehoods about election fraud nationwide and demanded audits in numerous states, many Republicans in Florida pressed DeSantis to do the same. Though he resisted an audit, DeSantis signed a controversial bill last year curtailing some voting options that had helped to expand participation. The law, which is being challenged in court, with a trial set to begin January 30th, limits the use of ballot drop boxes, adds requirements to request mail ballots, and bans groups of individuals from gathering absentee ballots on other voters' behalf. No legislators have signed on to sponsor DeSantis' new proposal. House Speaker Chris Sprouse said DeSantis is concerned that existing law enforcement agencies don't have the expertise necessary to find and prosecute election crimes. Yet he hasn't embraced the governor's approach. We're going to look at it, we'll evaluate it and see what happens, Sprouse said last week. So basically, his own people on his own side are saying, first of all, our police force here in the great state of Florida is discriminatory enough, they profile enough, and trust me, if need be, we will send them to apprehend all of the people who we don't like, that we don't want to get elected, and all of the people who voted from them. We got enough people already in Florida being paid to do this, okay? We could use that $6 million to create other laws and do other things that help us flex our white supremacy, that shows that we wear this mantle of white privilege and breastplate of white supremacy. I don't know what y'all want me to do with this stuff. I don't know what y'all want me to do with this stuff. Continuing on in my great state of Florida. Oh man, where's this? Oh man, hold on. I gotta find this. Oh, here it is, right here. Here it is, right here. Found it. So, in addition to passing new voted, let me give you the grocery list of Ron DeSantis right now. Okay, you got um banning mask mandates. Remember, the state of Florida is also the state that said if you decide that you're going to protest in the great state of Florida, someone, meaning you could be protesting voting rights, you could be protesting Black Lives Matter or anything, someone with a car can run you over and send you to your maker, and they will face no consequences, no arrest or anything. You know, they have free reign to do that. Also, in the great state of Florida, if you have three or more people that are sitting on the corner and the police deem that you look like you are doing and saying things they don't like, they can consider that to be a riot and you can be arrested. And when arrested, you will now have a felony on your record and you won't be able to vote. Look how this is. I'm adding it up for you. Then you got in the great state of Florida, they passed laws that said no drop boxes. No, you can't get the absentee ballots for your elderly parents. Hey, Shanti, and stuff like that. You can't get the drop boxes for absentee ballots from your elderly family members and take them and drop them off to the election site. Oh no, we're going to limit the amount of days that you have for early voting. All of that. Nope, those are new laws. We're going to purge the voter registration rolls because we just want to, and now you have to show some new form of identification for who you are because we just want to do that. Now he is creating this new police force whose only job it is to make sure that you're following these new voting laws that help restrict the right to vote. And now, in addition to that, we have what I'm about to read to you now because he won't be outdone. Oh, no, I just told you a few minutes ago. Governor Hot Wheels over in Texas gave them the blueprint for this redistricting stuff. And so now it's spreading like wildfire. Oh, no. Now, we have listen, we have the holy trinity of white supremacy and racist white states in the country. We got Texas, we got Florida, and we have North Carolina. So when Texas does something, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says, oh no, I would not be outdone in this holy trinity. So here's what we got. In addition to all of those things I just laid out for y'all, all of those things that have already passed, been enacted, and is law in the state of Florida, except for the new vote on the new police force, that ain't in law yet. But everything before that is into law. Now, Governor DeSantis proposes Florida redistricting map. So now we got to add the gerrymandering into this because we can't have all of this stuff without drawing up new districts. Got to do that. North Carolina, Lamont, North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina. No, North Carolina will not be out there. They are a part of the Holy Trinity. Lamont, please be clear. North Carolina flexes its muscles all the time and lets you know real well. They don't get as much press as the Floridas of the world and Texases of the world because we know Governor Hot Wheels and Governor DeSantis are trying to, be on the 2024 ballot. But North Carolina, let's be clear, under the cloak of darkness, have passed some of the most, some of the laws. If I could do a whole series on some of the stuff that's been passed in North Carolina under the cloak of darkness, and you would be amazed. You would think we were living in 1921 and not 1922 and not 2022. I'm serious. You'd be very. Let me go on. So let me read this. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis proposed a new congressional map for the Sunshine State on Sunday, an unusual move for a governor as the country gears up for November's midterm election. The new lines established 18 seats that would have gone in favor of then President Trump in 2020, while the map proposed by the state Senate creates 16 seats that would have been red in that election, um, according to Politico. So he, instead of having 16 seats that would have gone for Trump, he said, no, that ain't enough for me. Give me 18. I need 18. Now, DeSantis's proposed congressional lines are targeting districts led by Black Democrats. Let me say that again for the people in the back. DeSantis's proposed congressional lines are targeting districts led by Black Democrats, according to the Associated Press. The districts represented by Al Lawson, that's up there in Tallahassee, and the late Representative Al C. Hastings down in South Florida, that's Broward County, would be dismantled. The district represented by Representative Charlie Crist would also be torn apart. They got a real hard on for Charlie Crist because remember Charlie Crist was Republican, then he became independent. Now he's Democrat. He go anyway to wind blows. He's former Governor Charlie Crist. He just goes anyway to wind blows. He don't. What? That's over in like the Tampa area. So those districts will be torn apart. Some are viewing the proposal, which was submitted by Ryan Newman, the governor's general counsel, on Sunday night, as a sign that DeSantis is planning to veto the congressional map that is awaiting a vote in the Senate, in the state Senate. The move by DeSantis is rare, as governors do not typically put forth redistricting proposals. Governors do, however, reserve the right to veto maps once they are approved by the state houses. DeSantis is up for re-election this year and has been a rumored candidate for the 2024 presidential election. Newman said the governor's office has, quote, legal concerns, end quote, with the maps that are currently under deliberation in the state legislature. We have submitted an alternative proposal which we can support, that adheres to federal and state requirements and addresses our legal concerns while working to increase district compactness, minimize county splits where feasible, and protect minority voting populations, Newman said. Right. Because the governor must approve any congressional map passed by the legislature, we wanted to provide our proposal as soon as possible in a transparent manner. Let me get down to the minutia for y'all, okay? Here's what's happening. Governor DeSantis only won by 34,000, by less than 34,000 votes in the state of Florida that has over 22 million people. That's a very slim margin in Florida. He won by less than 34,000 votes in the state of Florida. So he knows that they're a real concern. He knows that a lot of areas do not like him. He also knows that the map that the current state legislature put out, now let's be clear, the Florida legislature is staunchly red, real Republican. The House, the House and the Senate, real red. It ain't going nowhere. They're gonna be red for a while. But he didn't even like the map that they drew out, because the map that they drew out isn't red enough, because he knows in order for him to have, because in order for him to have a chance at being in the 2024 election, he needs to have he needs to win quite handily in his own state in order for them to take him seriously to win to have a chance at a 2024 ticket. So he wants to change the maps so that it makes it where it will be much more red and he'll get much more of the votes. Now, let the areas that he's going for are weak areas. Alcee Hastings just died. Charlie Crist is as sturdy as a wet piece of paper towel. Okay, I told y'all he go anyway. They got a hard on for him anyway. He was Republican, then he was independent. Now he's Democrat. He just go anyway the wind blow. And so that's a vulnerable seat. And I believe, is Al Lawson retiring? I don't think Al Lawson. I'll have to check on that. But Al Lawson, people have been gunning for Al Lawson, and Al Lawson is in Tallahassee, which has Florida State. It has FAMU. It has Tallahassee Community College in that area. So it's a blue area. That's where Andrew Gillum is from. Andrew Gillum, who you know ran for governor against Ron DeSantis, is from that area. So, and I believe I heard that Alcee Hastings might be retired, but I might be wrong on that. But these are very vulnerable areas. These are staunchly blue and staunch Democratic areas, because Alcee Hastings area is in Broward County, which is the bluest, the bluest of blue counties in Florida is Broward. Broward is the most Democratic of any county in the state of Florida. There is no county that votes more Democrat than Broward County, even Miami-Dade County, because you got all of those Cubans down there that is, they real red. So he feels like if I remap and redistrict and gerrymander these areas well enough, I can carve out red areas and can displace the blue areas that are in there, just to get me a few seats in some areas where he normally wouldn't have an ice cube chance in hell of getting. It's a whole mess. There's going to be a fight, because this is not precedent. They just tell you governors don't go around doing redistricting. They don't want that blood on their hands. They give it to the Congress, to their legislature. They say the state Congress, be in the state House, the state Senate, they'll have their henchmen there. They'll do all of the redistricting. They'll do all of the dirty work, get all of the blood on their hands, and they'll send it to the governor's desk. And he'll say, well, that's what they want, so I'll sign off on it, knowing that his hands was in it the whole time. Ron death sentence says, I don't want no parts of that. Yeah, y'all gave me 16 seats. I want 18. And here's my new map. And I don't care. And if you send me that map that you had, I'm vetoing it. Get over it. Which now could put him in a situation with some of his own Republican colleagues in the state of Florida, who have every intention on sending their map to his desk, only for him to veto and say, I told y'all I had my own map. Here you go. So governor death sentence has all of those things I told y'all stacked on top of each other. And in addition to that, now he's working out where I'm going to do some redistricting and gerrymandering and stuff like that. Because remember, we just had the census. And when the census came out, they gave extra seats to Florida. And now that we have extra seats that's coming out, now they want to find ways to have those seats go for a potential Republican bid at the White House. This is a mess. But Florida, after I think Florida got one extra seat in the 2020 census. Somebody will probably fact check me on that, but I believe it's one seat that Florida got in the in Congress. In addition to Florida, the great state of Kansas, their GOP is also redistricting. They have redistricting plans because they're trying to target Representative Sharice Davids. Oh, yes. Let me read this for you. Kansas Republicans on Tuesday unveiled a proposal to redraw the state's congressional district boundaries that will give them a substantially better chance at winning all four of the state's seats in the U.S. House of Representatives by carving up the state's largest county. The proposal introduced by State Representative Chris Croft will imperil Representative Sharice Davids, who won a district that includes most of Kansas City metropolitan area in the 2018 midterms. Davids's district currently includes all of Wyandotte and Johnson counties, two of only 5 counties in all of Kansas that President Biden carried in 2020. Hey, Yocrates, what's up? Croft's map would divide Wyandotte County, home of Kansas City, into 2 districts alongside Interstate 70, giving a substantial number of Davids's current constituents to neighboring Representative Jake LaTurner, who's a Republican. In exchange, Davids's district would pick up parts of conservative Miami County and all of Franklin and Anderson counties, south and west of the metro area. About 2/3 of the vote in Miami and Franklin counties went to former President Trump. Let me say that again. About 2/3 of the vote in the Miami County and Franklin counties went to former President Trump in 2020. Trump won more than 3/4 of the vote in Anderson County. Wyandotte County favored President Biden by a 2-to-1 margin. So you see what they're doing here. This is what the Supreme Court, told South Carolina they couldn't do some years ago. This diamond-like precision where you see the number, oh no, let's carve this up. But here's the problem. If something like this reaches the Supreme Court again, the Supreme Court is 6-3 conservative. Look at where the Supreme Court is now, as opposed to where it was back then when this was originally taken up at the end of the Obama administration. It ain't the same Supreme Court. And if this kind of stuff gets to the Supreme Court again, Supreme Court gonna look at you like, we ain't got nothing for you. All of this is going on. This brings back to the point that I went to at the beginning of this live. All of this is going on not under the cloak of darkness, in full broad daylight. But you got the current administration that's playing pussyfoot and meandering around and playing, reindeer games with members of their own party and not finding a way to get voting rights acts, the 2 voting rights bills, into law. And y'all just decided a year into the administration to now act like you give a shit. Here's what I propose. What I propose is this. This is how you give the big fuck you to Joe Biden. I say we go out and we vote our asses off in 2022 because it ain't vote. We're not voting for Joe Biden. This is the year of a whole lot of state governor elections, a lot of movement in state um, houses and state senates. This is the time for us to come out to vote to make some changes on the state level. And when the 2024 comes, that is our opportunity to let Joe Biden know how we feel about him. But I don't want to get us to get lulled into a false sense of security into thinking that not voting this year is going to get back at Joe Biden. It's not, because most states have their governor elections this year, and this is the governors are the ones who can affect you much more than Joe Biden. And so this is where we have to vote for ourselves. This ain't for Democratic Party. This ain't for Joe Biden. We have to vote for ourselves. And some of these people who are in these state governor mansions need to get out of there. Some of these people that are frolicking around over here in the state houses and the state senates, they got to get out of there because they are making laws that put your life in danger, that put your children's life in danger, that put your family's life in danger. And if you don't see it, you better get a clue. You better get some glasses. I got about 4 or 5 pairs of glasses you can borrow. We're not 2022 is for us. It has nothing to do with some of these rat bastards in Washington, D.C. 2022, we got to do right by us. And that means that all of us who live in these states that we know we got governor elections this year, it's time to get some of these people out of there. All of us who live in states where we have state house races and state senate races, we got to get some of these people out of there, because I told you, we come on here all the time and talk about all of these bills that are being passed in all of these states. These things are happening on the state level. The federal level can't do a goddamn thing over there. Y'all see, they can't do shit over there in Congress. I told you the only thing they passed of significance is a military spending bill and the goddamn infrastructure bill, all of which don't do shit but to help rich ass white men who own huge companies. So when we're voting, when we're thinking about this election cycle in 2022, damn Washington, D.C., we got to think about ourselves, our families, our children, and our futures, because they ain't thinking about us in Washington, D.C. Now, the time for us to give Washington, D.C. the big fuck you is going to be in 2024. But this ain't 2024 yet. We got some time. If you ask me, I'm hoping Biden and Harris get primaried. I'd love to see a credible Democratic primary in 2024, because we ain't here for that Biden administration. And I don't think they're going to get another 4 years. I'm just being honest. I don't think they're getting another 4 years. So let's do this for us, not them. So that's what we got to do. I'm going to be highlighting this year as we get close to the election cycle, some of these governors races, some of these some very influential races within certain states. We got to support. Listen, I'm here for everybody black, unless you're Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina and some of these other clowns around here. But no, in most cases, I'm rooting for everybody black. I'm just saying. Anyway, I got to get up off here so I can make sure I'm ready for Really Be Listening. Can I get one of my mods to please post the link to Teacher Project 2.0 in the chat? If you can, before I get off here. We will be over there in less than 15 minutes now. We'll be over there at 5:30, talking all things, as every reviews would say, teachery. And we'll be over there. Let me post the link to Teacher Project. Did she even post the live? Dear God above. I'm gonna have to beat Really Be. I'm gonna have to beat her. We are listen, we are really this year, we are trying to get the Teacher Project 2.0 page monetized. We are going to do everything in our power to push Teacher Project 2.0, because we do some great stuff over there, and what I don't want is it to go unnoticed. So thank you, y'all, for posting that in the chat. Um, so Teacher Project 2.0 is coming up in about 12 minutes. I'm gonna get off here. Y'all know it was a short one today. I had a lot more things that I wanted to go over, but I needed to hit my great state of Florida hard right now because there's a lot going on. If you really look, and we're going to talk more about Florida on Teacher Project 2.0 because they are now about to start attacking schools and our children with this Stop Woke Act, and we really need to be real conscious of what's going on there. You know, Texas is. We talked about Texas and how they are really, really attacking our children in Texas with what they're doing to LGBTQIA youths and stuff like that. And so Florida is following suit. I'm sure North Carolina, if they haven't already done so, will be doing it in a while. Virginia is about to do it. There's a whole lot going on in Virginia with young kids just getting in there. So let's we got to be real vigilant about what's going on. So let's go over there. Make sure you're there for Teacher Project 2.0 as we talk about these good things. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to go and subscribe to Teacher Project 2.0. Hit the notification bell on Teacher Project 2.0 so you can get all and put all so you can get the notifications. Make sure you go and like up. Don't just like the video that we're on, like all the old videos so you can get Teacher Project 2.0 into the algorithm and we can start to make waves because we really do a lot of good work over there. And invite your teacher friends. We'd love to have guests on there or panelists on there with us as we talk teacher things. So please, please, please share Teacher Project 2.0 videos out. We will be over there in about 10 minutes or so. And I will see you over there. As I always say, I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank you all for being vocal president active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged and much appreciated. I love all of y'all that came over today. Belize, my girl, I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for coming through and dropping in and let me know you all right. And so, because somebody go find Nappy Child, I haven't seen Nappy Child in a while. I'm gonna have to text her. I haven't seen Nappy Child in a while, and I'm kind of concerned where she's at, what's going on with her. So I'm gonna have to hit her up and see what's going on with her. Other than that, that's all I got for y'all. We'll be back with more politics. You know that. Until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.